dark and sharp. It had to have been written not more than an hour ago.
We were in town from Manhattan to do some leaf peeping and had a wonderful time. The Hollows is a beautiful little town. We loved the shops on Main Street and strolling through the cemetery at the old stone church. What can we say about Jacob's cottage? So amazing. We began every morning with a walk through the woods to check out the hills and always stopped at the sanctuary. Jacob is the perfect host. The wine and the s'mores were just the right touch. And then there's Murphy, such a sweetie. Can't wait to come back. John and Margaret Thelson.
I snap the guest book closed and look around the cottage. It never fails. Whenever someone from Manhattan signs the guest book, they always have to mention that they're from Manhattan. Hopefully, they'll post the review on Be Our Guest this afternoon, once they get home. The Thelsons were standard New York City types, taking their yearly fall pilgrimage up north to see some trees. They were a wealthy couple who would call this quaint one-bedroom cottage roughing it, even though it had all the amenities, a couple of bottles of wine, and a fire pit outside. Still, they were pleasant, and they've left the cottage in good shape. The turnaround should be quick, and I've got it down to a science. Murphy walks through the open front door. He's done scouting the fire pit for any stray graham crackers and marshmallows left by the Thelsons, and goes right for the kitchen to see if there are any scraps lying about. "Happy hunting, Murphy," I say. He deserves it. He's one of my best selling points. I clap my hands and rub them together. All right, time to get to work. First thing I do is bring in the wine glasses and wash them in the kitchen sink. Then I collect the bed sheets and towels, put them in a bag, and carry it to the house. Murphy follows close behind. I take the bag down to the basement and pop the contents into the washing machine. Even though we've done this process hundreds of times, Murphy bolts as soon as I open the lid because to him, the washing machine is still some sort of monster. Once I get that going, I head back upstairs. Murphy's on the porch, waiting for me. "Coward," I say. He responds by letting his tongue flop out of his mouth and starts panting. As we begin walking back to the cottage, Murphy spots the ducks that have settled onto the glassy surface of the pond. He pins his ears back and sprints after them. "Murphy!" I shout. He stops at the water's edge and looks at me. "Nope. Come on." He stares at the pond and then back at me, as if to ask, "But do you not see the ducks?" "Come," I say with a forceful slap on my leg. He runs to catch up, but instead of following me into the cottage, he lies down on the cottage porch to enjoy the cool New England morning. I restock the complimentary toiletries and clean the bathroom. No disasters there. One time, I had a young couple from Los Angeles stay for a weekend, and after drinking too much wine, they destroyed the bathroom. I almost left them a bad review, but they were in the elite class on Be Our Guest, so I held my fire. Thankfully, they left me a glowing review. I finish scrubbing the tub and stand up a little too quickly. The pain in my side flares again, but it barely registers. Time to tackle the kitchen. I clean the plates from the s'mores and refill the basket by the coffee maker with packs of Groundworks coffee. I wipe down the counter and sweep the floor. After that, I retrieve the vacuum cleaner from the hall closet. I have my routine down, working my way from the bedroom, then the bathroom, down the hall, and into the living room kitchen area. I push the vacuum around the bookcase, which is filled with some of my favorite books, a few thrillers, some Michael Crichtons, A Christmas Carol, etc. No one reads them while they're here, but they make for good pictures on the Be Our Guest website. There's also a row of DVDs no one watches: Casablanca, When Harry Met Sally, Vertigo, Roman Holiday, and Dead Again. As I glide the vacuum cleaner over the rug by the fireplace, my eyes catch the stick doll I made years ago, resting on the mantel. It's a crude figure made of twigs tied together with twine. It adds a nice rugged touch to the place. In Boy Scouts, they taught us to use pine needles instead of twine, but those don't last long.
"For me?"
she asked in mock flattery. "Just something I learned in Boy Scouts." She saw right through my